Hey Pioneer Nation, we hope you had a great Easter weekend because Sacred Heart Athletics sure did. Let's get into it right now because the Sacred Heart bowling team won the Northeast Conference Championship. I'm Taylor Krimmel, that's Aaron Burrell. AB, let's talk bowling.
That's right, Taylor. It was a big day for Pioneer Bowling as the 2-seed SHU earned a bye into the championship bracket and took on LIU Brooklyn in the first match. The Blackbirds came out with a 4-2 win, bumping Sacred Heart into the losers bracket where they were just one more loss away from elimination. In the Friday's final match, the Pioneers downed St. Francis Brooklyn 4-2, sending the Terriers home and SHU into day 2 of the championship. Sacred Heart started the second day with a sweep of top-seeded St. Francis U before they took on the undefeated LIU Brooklyn Blackbirds in the championship round.
And neither the Blackbirds or the Pins stood a chance against the Pioneers, who handed LIU its first loss of the competition, forcing a decisive championship match in 6 games. In the best-of-7 match, the Pioneers scraped out a 176-170 win in Game 1, but the Blackbirds evened the match, taking Game 2 by just 6 pins as well. SHU regrouped and bounced back with a pair of 200 games for a 3-1 lead, and then needing just one more win to get their third NEC crown, SHU started Game 5 a little bit sloppy, leaving the first 2 frames open. But the Pioneers came together to rally for the 161-155 win.
Now, Taylor, as a former student athlete, I can tell you just how hard it is to hang in there mentally throughout all these elimination matches. It takes a certain Coach of the Year type leadership to get them to a championship. And we are fortunate enough today to have the NEC Coach of the Year with us now, as Diana has SHU bowling coach Becky Craigling in this week's Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Aaron. And first of all, congratulations to you on earning Coach of the Year. You also had 3 players that earned all NEC honors, Sarah Rhodes, Lauren Hoffman, and Casey Smith. What have they meant to the team's success?
Them becoming more solid has helped us be better second semester. First semester, we had a lot of people in and out of the lineup, including them. So them becoming consistent and playing better has meant a huge difference to the team this semester.
And the team had some ups and downs. You said March is when it really mattered. What did it feel like when you saw them holding that trophy?
I just kind of looked from the side and thought we did it. I mean, there's always the question of whether we could. We were very up and down all season, but they came together when it mattered, which was March.
And your team had won 3 elimination rounds. They made it to the championship to face LIU Brooklyn. How did you keep them focused during that time?
We spent the last few weeks talking about the process and not the result. And then at that point, pressure is the worst thing, because if they try a little harder, it makes the shot not as good. So it's just a matter of keeping them pretty much loose and calm, telling some jokes, keeping them just not worried about the end result.
And this is your 3rd NEC title. How does it measure up to the rest of them?
The last time we won, I had to look back. We went 5-0 that weekend to become a team that gets to the national championship because we were a bubble team. This year, it's an amazing way to end the season, and it's a lot harder to win now as the teams get better and better. So it's an accomplishment, and it's a very wonderful way to end the season.
Of course. Well, congratulations, and thank you for your time today. That's all we have for today, and we're going to send it back for some more Pioneer action to Stephanie in the Update Corner.
Thanks, Diana. Let's start off with women's rugby. The team headed north to Cambridge to compete in the program's first ever Sevens tournament. The Pioneers picked up their inaugural win with a 34-5 victory over Navy and finished the tournament 2-3 after notching another win over Endicott in the plate semifinal. A big honor for the Pioneers came on Tuesday morning when Emily Mignoni was named the first rugby NCAA All-American class. The spring season continues for SHU's newest sport when they host Malloy College this Sunday at 1 p.m. The Sacred Heart men's volleyball team made a sweep of Harvard look easy with a season-high hitting percentage of .412, the 4th best in program history. Austin Arcala matched his career high for kills with 22, 11 of which came in the first set. He was just 4 kills shy of the entire Harvard squad, leading his 2nd EIVA Player of the Week honor on Tuesday. The Pioneers trailed just once thanks to stout defense that kept Harvard to a measly .187 hitting percentage on the day. With 3 wins in their last 4 matches, she will try and move over 500 in EIVA play when they face George Mason in the pit on Friday night at 7 p.m. I'll have more for you guys later, but for now, I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Steph. Nice job. Sacred Heart Baseball opened NEC play over the weekend with a 4-game series on the home turf of LIU Brooklyn. In Game 1 on Thursday, James Cooksey put in 7 solid innings and only allowed 1 run. The Pioneers didn't have any extra base hits in the game, but leadoff man Ted Shaw went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. First baseman Victor Sorrento had himself a day with 3 hits and an RBI. Jeff Stoddard came in for a 2-inning save, and SHU wins it 5-2. Those would be the only runs the Blackbirds scored the entire weekend. Friday was a doubleheader that saw Zach Short blast a 3-run homer in the first inning to set the tone early. Jesus Medina scored on a pass ball in the top of the third, and it was bombs away for Sacred Heart after that. Victor Sorrento, Alex Perry, Medina, and Dan Schock all hit solo home runs to put 8 on the board. Jason Foley dominated on the mound, going all 7 innings with 5 strikeouts, 3 hits, and 0 runs. SHU wins 8-0. Then Game 3 Friday night was more of the same. Great pitching and feasting on the long ball. The Pioneers had 10 hits, including Short and Schock going yard for the 2nd game in a row. Medina was on the mound this game and struck out 6 batters in 6 innings before Mike Lembo came in for an inning of scoreless relief. Pioneers win it big, 11-0. Then in the final game against the Blackbirds, SHU completed the series sweep. Freshman pitchers Brent Teller and Baylor Sundahl combined to allow only 4 hits on the day with 2 strikeouts apiece. Alex Perry and Ted Shaw scored unearned runs in the first after an error by the Blackbirds' third baseman. Schock had an RBI single, Sorrento homered in the 5th, and Perry drove in a run in the top of the 8th to give SHU a 5-0 win. Then the Pioneers took their hot streak to Yale on Tuesday with James Tauble on the mound. Tauble tied a career high, pitching 6 scoreless innings, with Lembo and Perry finishing off a 4th straight shutout for Sacred Heart. The Bats came to life once again in the top of the first as SHU scored in their first at-bat for the 6th time in 7 games. And although they didn't have a home run, the Pioneers had 13 hits that plated 9 runs, with Sorrento and Cody Doyle each recording 3. The play of the game, though, came in the 2nd inning when Sorrento threw a runner out at home to keep the scoreless streak alive, which is now at 33.1 innings. The 4 shutouts is 1 less than SHU has thrown in the previous 2 years combined. The Pioneers have won 9 of 11 and are .500 for the first time this season at 10-10.
The Sacred Heart softball team rallied from down 4 runs but fell short to Boston University 6-5 in 9 innings on Thursday afternoon. The Pioneers could not get the offense going early and fell behind 4 runs before a Stephanie Appleberg grand slam tied the game in the 6th inning. Despite grabbing a 5-4 lead in the 8th on a Danny Warkin RBI, BU was able to tie it in the bottom half before getting the game-winning walk-off fielder's choice in the bottom of the 9th. On Saturday, the softball team was in New York for a doubleheader with Manhattan College. Behind strong pitching, the Pioneers split 2 games with the Jaspers. Pitching dominated as both pitchers went the distance in the first game, but it was junior Jamie Carlson who would come out with the win, striking out 12 batters to lead SHU, leading in her first Northeast Conference Pitcher of the Week award on Monday. The game's only run was scored in the 5th inning when Haley Del Rosier was driven in on Appleberg's single up the middle. In the second game of the doubleheader, SHU jumped to an early 2-0 lead as McKenna Wigland drove in 2 runs on a single up the middle. The Jaspers would tie the game in the bottom of the 3rd before getting the game-winning solo home run in the bottom of the 5th to win 3-2. Hey, Steph, what else you got for us in the update corner?
Well, Aaron, let's get into some tennis action. The Sacred Heart men's tennis team took on Hofstra at the Point Set Indoor Racket Club on Friday. The Pioneers were able to win the doubles point with a pair of 6-3 victories to start the day. Matthew Pilote and Corey Settleman were able to get wins at the 5 and 6 positions, but Hofstra came through big with wins at the 1 to 4 positions to win the match. Karen Narala had a 3-set thriller in the 4 spot, but lost 4-6, 7-5, 4-6. Matches against Quinnipiac and Fairfield were postponed due to the rainy weather, but the Pioneers hope to get back on the court this weekend for the spring home opener against Stony Brook on Saturday at 12:30. The women's tennis team dropped their home opener to Siena 5-2. SHU won the doubles point as the number 1 and 3 teams gave the Pioneers the early lead. Katie DiRienzo and Taylor Guarda won their 6th straight match together, 6-4, while Olivia Podstaberski and Claudia Ruiz won 6-3. But the only singles win came from 6 singles player Claudia Ruiz, who won 6-4, 7-5. She was back in action later today when they take on LIU in their first conference game. The women's golf team finished the Kingsmill Intercollegiate in 18th after a 2-round total score of 70 over par. After a first round 81, Chelsea Sedlar improved her score by 7 strokes in the second round to end the tournament tied for 29th on the leaderboard with a score of 11 over par. She will try to get back on track when they go to Bloomfield for the Hartford Hawks Women's Invitational, which takes place April 9th and 10th. That's all I've got this week from the Update Corner. Let's close it out with you at the desk, Taylor.
The SHU fencing team has a lot to brag about this week. Romain Canone placed 9th in the men's épée at the NCAA Fencing Championships at Brandeis University. To go along with his top 10 finish, Canone made SHU history when he became the first freshman ever to be named an All-American. Tyler Endy finished his first trip to the championships with a 5-18 record, and the Pioneers as a team ended the weekend in 19th. Julia Green was the lone member of the women's team to compete and finished tied for 21st in sabre. Green finished the NCAAs with a record of 8-15 in round-robin competition.
Thanks for joining us this week. Nearly all the spring teams are at home this weekend, so make sure you get out and support them. For Diana Canizero, Steph Doheny, and Taylor Krimmel, I'm Aaron Burrell, and we'll see you all next time.